All right, y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. I told y'all if you ain't tuning in today, you ain't black. Come on in. Area code 267. I'm going to get to you in just a moment. Stay on hold here. We'll get to you in just a moment. All right, so today, welcome to the Lawyer Henderson Show. Our discussion is black business forming after George Floyd's death. Black business forming after George Floyd's death. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're up in heavy here. We up here heavy. Let's go to everybody. Okay, we're going to be discussing your businesses here today. Black businesses is forming all over the place. We're going to try to make sure that we get everybody here today to talk about their business. Okay. Area code 267, you're on live with Lawyer Henderson. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Brian Williams, and I'm calling from Philly.
You're calling from Philadelphia. Okay, now, Brian, are you a black business? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so you're a black business owner and from Philadelphia. Okay. Brian, tell us what business you got and tell us, and tell us a little bit about your business and how you got started.
So I actually have two businesses.
Okay.
One business is called WWES, called Williams Engineering Solutions. And we're on the brink and cutting edge of a special monitoring system for Fortune 500 companies.
All right.
In about 60 days, we'll capture our first order for $250,000.
Wow.
So that business we set up through some great arrangements in the industry, the oil and gas industry, and it has an exclusive, unique way of helping people that have uninterrupted power supply systems to monitor batteries and their operations. So that's one of the businesses that we are pushing. And the second business that we have, and also thank you for having me on tonight. I really appreciate you opening up your airways for black businesses to get advertisement and to talk about what's happening in today's day and time.
Right. Thank you. Well, no problem. Go ahead.
The second business that we just embarked on in the past 30 days is a cryptocurrency business.
Okay.
Cryptocurrency business. They are not talking about it in the media because there is a war going on behind the scenes in the digital currency space. And what we have done, we have put together a simple way for anyone, but especially African Americans, to acquire digital currency. Digital currency will allow people to live at a point where you will no longer need banks. It is the time of deregulation of the financial structure that is in America and the world. So we put together a system because nobody can afford $11,000 for a Bitcoin.
Right, absolutely.
Devise the system. Yeah, the price of it's tremendous. Also, a lot of people don't know that Bitcoin has super surge past gold and any other precious metals, and has outdone the stock market over the past probably 4 years in its percentage of profitability.
Absolutely.
So we put together a special Bitcoin business in which we help people for a mere fraction of $300. I hope people are listening. For $300, you can own your own business in the digital cryptocurrency space. That $300 will open up doors of how you can trade Bitcoin, how you build this business, how you can have instant payments, not just sitting around waiting a week or 2 weeks to get paid. It also has a wealth management and financial literacy piece where we teach you the 5 pillars of wealth so that you'll know where to put your money so that no matter what happens in the world, you will still have wealth.
Wow. So this Bitcoin is, you think, is this is going to take over? This is what black people should be invested in. Um, that is this the future of what you're saying? Because I hear a lot about Bitcoins a lot. Do you think this is the future now, as far as money and a medium of exchange?
It is the now and the future. The future is now, let me tell you.
Okay.
People don't know. I put up last night I was so intrigued by what's been going on and what hasn't been said, is that I put up a Facebook page called Making Money from Home. Very simple, has my picture on it, Brian Williams. I did a 24-second excerpt of what I want to do to help black people.
Absolutely.
And in this, people don't know that the U.S. government and China have issued patents already for them to have their own digital currency.
Mm.
Is that big?
Wow.
The Chinese yuan, which is equivalent to our U.S. dollar, is almost no more.
Wow.
China just put together their digital currency, and they're looking to sweep the world with their currency of digital currency. And this is where the money's at. It makes money more secure. It's not backed by a promise. It's backed by real people. And that's the other thing people don't understand about digital currency.
Right.
You're no longer waiting in a bank line. You can now be your bank. You can now walk around with that in your pocket. You can do business globally without taxation. Oh boy, that's huge, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, what do you think of black people forming credit unions? You don't think that that's enough as well, or the banks? What about that?
Well, the whole banking era has changed. They can now become their own bank. There's so many avenues in which African American people can individually as well as collectively produce wealth that is unheard of in this present time. We just learned through the pandemic that there's really no need for us to have to travel to an office to work anymore.
Wow.
People who work in offices now know that, guess what? I can do what I was doing there in the comfort of my own home. And because of that, we now can move differently according to the times and the digital age and information age we're in to capture our own wealth during this time.
Wow. Now this right here, it sounds good to be true, but do you have anybody who is doing this now? And I know you said you're doing it, but is there anybody who can show us that this is the way to go? Do you have any clients that is out there who could show us here in the future, or you have a website to get in contact with you?
There's over 1,500 of us doing this now.
Wow.
And we just did it on a private scale.
Okay.
1,600 people.
1,600 people right now. Okay.
Right. In 60 days, it will go public.
Wow.
It will be able to go to the entire world.
Man, this is huge.
You think that people won't want this opportunity? So how does he connect with me? Because I'm still trying to keep it under my coat.
Right.
I'm sharing it as I get an opportunity. Because I tell you, a lot of people are still looking for a J-O-B.
Absolutely.
A
Yes.
lot of people say they want wealth.
Right.
But they don't want to do the work.
Absolutely.
To get the wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if people want to tap into me and to this new discovery of what we're doing for African American wealth, they can do it two ways. One, they can contact me directly, personally. I'm a personal guy at 267-237-2039. Or they can contact me through email
Okay.
mail.com.
All right. So they can.
That's actually happening.
Okay, I was going to ask you. So they can contact you directly at 267-237-2039, and that's your direct contact number. For a black business owner or a black person, people can talk to you directly about this business of yours you got. Is what you're saying. Is what right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. What else you was going to say? I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
And they can also email me at Brian W. Senior at protonmail.com.
Okay.
And we got people globally doing the Bitcoin business. We
Wow.
got people in Ghana, Africa, that are setting their alarm clocks to 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning just so they can get up and be on the special Zoom presentation that we hold every night at 9 p.m.
Okay.
And over in Ghana, they are using Bitcoin because they're trying to build a whole new society.
Wow, they're doing that now. So this Bitcoin is really a powerful medium of exchange that you all are really trying to get a lot of people on, especially black folks, so they can have their own system. So let me ask you: is there any kind of, is they have to pay for something? Is there any kind of we have to register for something? Is there what is the situation? Do they have to spend some type of money, and how much is it?
What they will need to do is contact me personally.
All right.
Once they contact me, I do a brief interview with them for free.
Okay.
No charge. I find out where they are at financially right now. What are their goals? And I try to review their ambition. And if they really seem to be ambitious and they have a need and they want to move forward, then I release to them a free 60-minute video that gives them the full information of Bitcoin, how it's working, how it's being used, how they can have their own business. And listen, to top it all off, we just opened up a second piece to this Bitcoin business.
Wow.
Which is actually an instant payment system where they can keep being paid over and over and over again and upwards of $30,000 a month.
Wow. Let me ask you, how do, I don't know if you were able to answer this, but how do Bitcoin, for those people who don't understand, how do that turn into money per se?
Sure. So, Bitcoin is digital.
Oh, it's digital.
There's something called a wallet.
Okay.
It's a digital currency. Bitcoin, along with Ethereum, as well as other different coins of digital currency are out there. They are held in what's called a digital wallet. Once they begin to make some Bitcoin, the coinage will go into the wallet. We will teach them how to have an encrypted email address. We will teach them how to have an encrypted digital wallet and also what's called a cold wallet. A cold wallet is like you walking around with a piece of hardware in your hand that has all your coins in it. And then there's a wallet called BitPay.
Right.
BitPay.
Okay.
BitPay. And BitPay is the only digital wallet right now that you can have digital currency in it. And you can have a credit card that you can exchange with Bitcoin to any other currency, including dollars or yuan.
Wow.
Use that credit card expenditure.
So let me ask you. So if
You tell me digital currency hasn't come a long way.
Okay. So let me ask you. So if I was going to travel to South Africa or Africa in general somewhere, this will it be able to transfer into their dollars, or can I use it overseas, or how would that work?
You can use that BitPay credit card globally.
Okay.
It's accepted everywhere because it's by MasterCard.
Oh, okay.
digital currency, take a credit card, and then use the credit card wherever you are in the entire world.
Wow. That is something, man. I never thought that this is some stuff that, black people can do as far as controlling our own currency, our own medium of exchange, that we can have a networking system that we could pretty much get money off of instead of going to a job, like you say. A lot of people wanting to get out of that job mentality, and a lot of our people are still in that job mentality. What do you say to them, those black folks who you just can't steer out of that job mentality? What do you say to these types of people?
I say the only way to get out of the rat race is to start a side business.
Absolutely.
This is what made President Trump so great and why he was elected. It's because he was for business. If you have a business in the United States of America, you are ahead of the game. Why? Because you can begin to write off expenditures.
Absolutely.
And a lot of our people have no idea about business and being able to write off your expenditures. You can go to lunch, talk about your business, and write off that lunch. You could go on a trip to Puerto Rico for 7 days and talk to somebody about that business while you're there and write the whole trip off.
Wow.
This is what piqued the interest of many, many business owners when Trump ran for president.
Absolutely.
And that's why America is still growing economically, even though the dollar isn't worth much at all. But people love him because he's about that money.
Right. Okay, but you have all this backlash talking about he need to get in office. Why do you think out of office? Why do you think people are saying that he needs to get out of office, though? What do you say about those people, though?
Well, listen, I'm one I kind of agree with. I really don't like him as a president. And I say to the people who want him out of office, that's definitely your prerogative. And if you want him out of office, then you have to use the power that you was given, which is the power to vote.
Okay.
The power to vote.
Okay.
So the other good thing
Go ahead.
about digital currency is that it's not precedented on who the president is.
Right. Absolutely.
Digital currency is deregulated. Remember when they deregulated the electricity in our country?
Yep.
You can now go anywhere and get an electrical provider. That's exactly what just happened in the financial economy.
Wow.
You don't have to use dollars anymore. You can now take your dollars and put them into a digital currency system and cause it to grow 100%, 150%, 400%, 400 times your money.
Right.
Doesn't even give you that. You might get 1%.
Absolutely.
And then grow your wealth off of the normal system without any taxation. And now we are actually teaching people how to live what we call off the grid.
Wow. All right, y'all. The number is 516-418-5867. 516-418-5867. Hey, Brian, I want to ask you a question. It's Brian, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's talk about your side business. You said that it is what now?
The Williams Engineering Solutions.
Yeah. So that's William Engineer Solutions. What is that?
That business is more of a Fortune 500 type business.
Okay.
We are creating a product for the uninterrupted power supply industry.
Okay.
That is the area of industry that has to do with battery backup systems.
Wow.
So we are in the final stages of producing our very own product to meet a niche problem in that industry.
Wow.
And we are looking forward, once it's done, we have $250,000 order waiting for us right now. And we are also going to be moving into
That's
And
eh,
that product will be needed globally.
absolutely. You know, especially with
And, and,
those backup electric
and we're
is
doing that. Oh, yeah. And,
yeah.
and we're doing that business out of a garage.
Okay. Man, now, let me ask you. So how many?
Because a lot of people,
I was going to ask you how many people. I was going to ask you how many people that you got within that business working with you.
there's only, sure, there's only three of us.
Three. Okay.
There's two full-time employees and one part-time.
All right. So as far as in Philadelphia, let me ask you. Okay, how is black people forming? Because like I said, my topic was black businesses forming after George Floyd's death. But what is black people in Philadelphia doing as far as creating businesses? Um, is they taking this serious now as far as after his death, or do we still see them, complacent and things of that nature? What do you? Is there any talk in Philadelphia about black businesses forming there?
I still see a mixture.
Okay.
I don't hear a lot of talk
Okay.
about people really forming and coming together. And it's really, and that's why we started what we did with the Bitcoin, because we are trying to stir the pot and get African Americans in Philadelphia to start thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
Some people are still doing what the usual is, which is with real estate. But there's more out here than just real estate.
Absolutely.
People need money to live on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They need now money. And we're trying to create now money for people, which we actually believe we have, and we're introducing it in change. But I do, I'm seeing some people, African American that have restarted their real estate businesses. There's some black people in Philadelphia that already have businesses, plumbing, electrical, and so forth. But I do not hear much about what's happening in the digital currency space.
Wow. That's
Atlanta's
yeah.
got it. They know what's going on. California's got it. They know what's going on. Texas has got it. They know what's going on. But it just seems like it just hasn't hit it yet. And maybe I'm being raised up to be that person in Philadelphia to bring people together on this level.
Wow. All right, y'all. Y'all hear that? Digital currency is the now and the future. Call us up at 516-418-5867, 516-418-5867. So, Brian, when we talk about Bitcoins, I know I asked you regarding, if, there's a medium of exchange. But do you think, you saying that the dollar is going to be done away with and the Bitcoin is just going to be used in a sense? Or you think that this is just something that we can use as black people as a network in order to do a medium of exchange with our own network system? What do you think that we should go with this as far as black people is concerned?
I think black people need to get on with digital currency as quick as they can. They need to learn about it and Google it. I believe, what happens is when something great is happening in the world, it is not spoken about in your mainstream media.
Absolutely.
In 2016, J.P. Morgan Chase said the Bitcoin and digital currency is nothing for us to be concerned about.
Right.
But how about by the time 2017 came, when Bitcoin hit $20,000 a coin, that they were already in on the game.
Right.
And as of 2020, J.P. Morgan Chase, this is one of the biggest banks in the U.S., is now behind the scenes working on their own digital currency.
Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, they understand that the times have changed and they're behind the scenes changing. So I say to every black person, you need to find out about digital currency. You need to find out about the power of Bitcoin. And you need to learn how you can begin to stop paying so much taxes, because we pay taxes for years and haven't gotten much, and learn how to switch your wealth to begin to get off the grid. And it can be done. It is the now, it's the future.
Absolutely.
The now is not going to be around much longer. Have you noticed? I don't know. Are you in New York? Are you in New York?
No, I'm in Atlanta. I just got a New York telephone number. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So in Atlanta, have you seen signs and heard about your local stores not taking coins?
Well, we're not on that right now. Not where I'm at. I know I've seen Bitcoins or whatever that people talking about it. But as far as you talking about coins, like they still take money coins right now. But like you said, it made like it's meant to change. Yeah.
Right. Well, in Philadelphia, certain stores
Mm-hmm.
you'll see signs that say we having a coin shortage. We're not taking coins right now. We have to come with exact change or.
Oh yeah. I went to a store not too long ago who told me that. Yeah, I did hear like that. We have a coin shortage and all that. Yeah, I did hit that. Yeah, I was in a store, man, and they were like, "Man, yeah, we having a coin shortage. We're only taking exact change." They're like, "What's going on now?" See, I thought it was because of the COVID-19. So you're saying it's this Bitcoin that is taking over the things, huh?
It is the beginning stages of our
Uh-huh.
government making moves towards pushing our people, everyone, towards this digital currency.
Okay.
So now they're saying, oh, we don't want your coins, we're coin short. How are we coin short? Everybody still got coins.
Right.
Us having coins in circulation is not based on the myth.
Oh man. Well, let me ask you a silly question though. Let me ask you a silly question. For the people who take tips and stuff like that, and then strippers, what do you think? Is they gonna be out of business, or are they gonna have to take these digital bitcoins now?
They're gonna be taking digital bitcoins, my man.
Yeah, I wanna.
If anybody got Netflix and all that,
Yeah.
it's called Queen of the South.
Okay.
Queen of the South. The fifth season that came out earlier this year,
Uh-huh.
Queen of the South, is about a Spanish lady who took over a drug cartel from Mexico into the U.S. market.
Absolutely.
In the fifth series,
Mm-hmm.
she goes from stop the use of currency, of dollars, and she begins to run her cartel business off of digital currency.
Wow. Man. Is that's based up on a right? That was based up on a true story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read about that. It's called you said Queen of the South, right?
Yeah, Queen of the South.
Yeah, I think that I've seen that when I was watching. I seen the little advertisement of it, and that was the woman. That was the woman who, like you said, created her. Your rent a home business for with the digital coin and all that, right? Is that what she did?
Right, but she was involved with the drug cartel.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then she was kind of like smuggled and moved into like Arizona, Texas area, and she learned under a Mexican cartel's wife how to run the business. She started as a mule and so forth.
Absolutely.
So the first 4 seasons talks about her being a mule, how she's taking over territories and so forth. And when that 5th season popped out earlier this year, it was about her taking over more territory, and she was moving off of the regular currency and moved her business to digital. So anybody who did business with her for drugs, they had to pay via digital currency.
Wow.
Now you tell me that's not proof of what's already taking place in our society. Our people watch movies for entertainment. They need to start watching movies for reality.
Absolutely. Well, brother, that is amazing, man, that you know and understand what digital currency is all about. Man, brother, I had a caller who said that black folks need their own system, but she was saying that we don't need a medium of exchange. We don't need like a system like that. What do you say to people who just say that the whole structure and the system need to just be disorganized and replaced with something else?
Well, no matter where you are in the world, in order for you to function in the world, you have to function according to a system.
Absolutely.
Everything has a system. A system can also be known as a structure. Everything has a structure. You go to a job, you got to do your time to get your pay. It's the same in the financial world. In order for you to play in the financial world, you have to have money. It's part of the system. Our current system in our world, our city, our state, our nation is dealing with banks. That's the system. You get paid, you go to a bank, you put the money in the bank, most of your bills you cannot pay via cash. You have to show up with a credit card or transfer the funds from your account to theirs. So you do need a system. You have to have a system. How else are we going to be able to transfer wealth and get wealth? You're going to do it picking cotton? You're going to do it to matching? No. The system of bartering, of supply and demand is always handled through a system. I'm sharing with the world that there's a new system that is about to break out in the earth. It's already broken out, and it's called the digital currency system. But digital currency, a lot of people don't know, is very safe because it is a blockchain of digital information that's locked in itself. So, and it's backed by real people making real decisions about their money. If you've ever looked on your dollar bill, it says what? In God we trust, and that this note is a promissory note of value. Does that sound about correct?
Absolutely. That's exactly what it says.
Sure. Our cash is no longer backed by gold. That stopped way back when. So our cash is only backed by the promise of our government.
Wow.
But digital currency is not backed by a promise of a government or an institution. It is backed by real people with real money in the game. And that's what makes the difference. So the digital currency, as I was mentioning, is a encrypted block of information of your money. And with digital currency, it can be done all the way down to the hundreds or thousands of a Bitcoin or any other digital currency. And that's what makes it unique right now. Because to buy an ounce of gold is $1,500, $1,800, $1,900.
Okay.
$1,900 sitting around and get an ounce of gold.
Huh. So let me get.
I can't help my people. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let me get this straight. So if I went to Walmart, I would have to have your digital MasterCard in order to get to purchase or make a purchase on the system, right?
Right, through the digital currency. Correct.
Okay.
The other way you could do it too is you could sell off some of your digital coins. So you can sell it off in the digital currency market, which is also called Forex, is a portion of where it runs at. You can sell off portions of it and actually get cash.
Okay.
You can have some of it cash act too. But what we are doing is teaching people that guess what? You can have some of that digital currency stashed here, and then as you need to pay bills or whatever, you can cash it out or transfer it through that BigPay credit card and make your payment.
All right, that'll work. The number is 516-418-5867. I got a play a PSA. You want to hold on, or you want to call back for me? What do you want to do?
Sure, I'll hold on.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about black business farming. And man, we have a lot of businesses, black businesses that is forming. Some of them forming, and we started to do like, started to support each other as far as business. We did a lot of that after George Floyd death. I noticed that we were starting to say, hey, do anybody know about a black company and stuff like that? But before I get back into the subject matter, I want to play a PSA of a young lady who... See, we have this divide in the black community, y'all, and it's between black men and black women. But I want to play Erica Lachey's little piece here right quick to try to, to get my sisters on board to listen to what we need to be doing as black men and women. And hopefully it plays here. Okay, are we having...
Then black people are affected as a whole. I'm affected as a whole. If a black woman is brutalized or demonized, I'm affected by that because I see us as a unit. I don't see us so separate. Why do we have to separate ourselves so much from each other? Why is black women one separate entity and black men are another separate entity? That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how any other race operates, but we're the only ones who operate like that and think it's functional. You feel me? I've said it before. Why do we get the label of strong, independent black woman? We don't hear that from nobody else. I've never heard strong, independent white woman, strong, independent Asian woman, strong, independent Latino woman, strong, independent Indian woman. I ain't never heard none of that. But we pride ourselves to being strong, independent black women, as if independence is something that we should strive for as a people. Independence is death. Everybody needs somebody. And the reason why we're struggling in our households and our communities is because we think that there's something good about being independent. Black women need black men, and black men need black women. You feel me? And I'm not going for the nonsense in my comments. I'm really not. I'm really not going for the nonsense in my comments, okay? I'm not going for all of that. All of y'all, well, black men, anytime something happens to a black man and I say something about it, well, black men don't do this, they don't stand up for us because in the media, we don't ever see. In the media, we don't ever see. Are you serious? Are you really expecting the same media that tells us that only white women are beautiful, only slim noses are beautiful, only lighter skin is beautiful? You're expecting that same media to show you an accurate depiction of black men? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You're showing that, you're expecting that same media to show you black love. Are you for real? You guys are wild. You're wild. You feel me? And I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
And that's it. That is what we're talking about. How do we bring black men and black women together and to remove ourselves away from this divide that this system had for us, And the sister was right. This so-called independent crap is getting old. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on talking about black businesses forming after George Floyd's death. The number to call in is 516-418-5867, 516-418-5867. Brian, are you still there? Brian from Philadelphia is talking about the Bitcoin business. Go ahead and continue, my brother.
I want to say this, that, when something new is on the horizon, our people tend to shy away and think things are a scam or a Ponzi scheme.
Absolutely.
We usually take that mentality as that stand because we are ignorant and don't know.
Absolutely.
And as we introduce digital currency to Bitcoin and how to live, we've had a few African Americans say that's a Ponzi scheme. I said, you don't even know what a Ponzi scheme is. That's an MLM. I said, you don't even know what that means.
Right.
That's business. No matter what kind it is, you need customers. No customers. customers, no business.
Absolutely.
And we are teaching people that what we are offering you is none of that. This is your opportunity to own your own wealth. Right now, most black people don't own their own wealth.
Absolutely.
It's been recorded that the top 3% money earners really run the world. The
Right.
top 3%, that means 97% of people don't have wealth. Our
Man.
African American community, if you go next door, if you go 5 doors down, do you think that in those 5 doors you knock on, that any of them have $2,500 or more in liquid assets right now?
Right.
And for us to get the money that we deserve, we got to change our thinking.
Absolutely.
That's where it starts. Change your mind, change your money.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
That's why we added the financial, and that's why we added the financial literacy piece to the cryptocurrency space. Because we people need real financial education. Most of us were never taught how to build wealth, let alone keep wealth. Our mindset is as soon as we get some money, we spend it.
Absolutely.
Because we have a present mentality. We don't have a futuristic mentality. I'll drop a nugget for all your listeners right now, bro.
Okay.
Here's one nugget. Don't even have to do with digital currency.
Go ahead.
If you insure, everybody knows they need insurance. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Car insurance,
Yep. Home insurance, rentals
Health
insurance. I mean,
insurance.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
home insurance, and most importantly, you need life insurance.
Right.
Because none of us know when we're going to die, so you need life insurance.
Absolutely.
Now, in most of our communities, we're taught about term life insurance.
Absolutely.
That
Yep.
means it's only for 5 years, or 10 years, or 15 years, max 20. But here's a great wealth nugget for all your listeners. There is an insurance called a whole life policy insurance.
Okay. Say it again. The whole life what now? Insurance.
Whole life. Whole life. WHOLE.
Okay. Whole life.
Whole life insurance policy.
Whole life insurance policy.
It has to be.
Okay.
That's right. And if it is written correctly with something called a rider, R-I-D-E-R, that life insurance policy is for your whole life.
Man.
It doesn't stop at a term of 1995.
Absolutely.
Also, what it does, as you pay the payments every month, it generates inside of it what is called cash flow.
Absolutely.
Actually, you set up your own bank inside of the insurance. Well, how is it my own bank, Ronnie? Because you can take from that policy whatever that cash is there and pay it back to yourself as you have the money to do it. So instead of you going out to get a loan for $10,000 inside of that whole life policy,
Mm-hmm.
$10, $15, $20,000. You can tap into that and go have your deposit for your property if you want to buy it. You can go buy that car outright. And this is another wealth strategy that we teach in our financial literacy through the Bitcoin business that we're doing.
Okay. Let me ask you, how many?
There's a lot of white people using that method.
Oh, really? They're using this whole life insurance policy to get more money as far as a string of income. How many streams of income do you think that we should have as black people?
Minimum 3.
Okay.
You need a minimum of 3 streams.
3 streams of income.
Service that we put together, you have up to 13 streams through this digital currency system we put together. 13 streams. You won't need another side hustle with this business opportunity.
Absolutely.
You don't have to sell nothing. You ain't talking to people, trying to convince them. You ain't calling Mama and Cousin Pookie and all them
Cousin Pookie.
We're going to do all the dynamics of how
Right.
to make this work.
Okay. So what is the fee for that class?
Well, it's not a class. What we're actually doing is we're showing people the 60-minute system. It's
Okay.
a 60-minute video. And after the 60-minute video, if they want to decide to move forward, it's about $300
Okay.
to start their own business.
All right. Well, you know what some people are going to say about that now. You know what they're going to say because see, you're a black person. Okay. And they're going to say that this is a pyramid business. You know that?
Yep. Yep.
So what do you say to those people who think that this is going to be a pyramid business? Because you know black people will do inventory on other black folks, but they won't do inventory on white people. So when they ask you, well, what else do I need to do, or I need to pay this money, and they think this is a pyramid scheme, what would you say to that?
I would tell them, one, it's not a pyramid scheme, and I would show them what a pyramid is. A pyramid is when one person controls all of what you are doing. And this is not that. We built an automated system that actually handles all the payments that work through the system with digital currency. So the system doesn't even hold your currency. It's flowing. And you know what I've learned? That currency moves way faster than people.
Right.
the forex industry runs about 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. But it's not a pyramid. A lot of people go, oh, that's a pyramid. Listen, if you go to your local McDonald's is a pyramid. Why? Because it has one franchise owner. It's set up with management, with employees, but it all goes to one person who owns the source. And what's amazing about what we're doing, we're actually learning what we're doing through an amazing African black man. He's a multi-millionaire liquid. And this is what one of the game changers is. You know, in order for you to get something you never had, you got to do something you never done.
Absolutely.
In order for you to get to the promised land, you need a Moses. You don't get to the promised land on your own.
No, you don't.
And I believe that there's been set up some people to show us how to get to a well-promised land that's for us.
Absolutely.
And it's here.
That's right.
And we can do it.
Absolutely.
You know, black people got the power.
Right,
If
they
we
do.
just get our minds out the way,
Right.
and we come together, we could flip this whole country. The Asians move into our community to sell their products. They don't go into their own community.
Absolutely. Well, we doubt now. What do you think?
To our community.
Everybody come to our community to exploit us, right? And my thing is that people will call you a racist just because they were like, well, you know, you're doing business with only black people. Well, what do you say to that? I mean, is it just a situation where they just don't want black people to have ownership? What do you think is the fear of us having black businesses in our own neighborhoods?
Well, I believe some African Americans just have a crab mentality. They don't want you to get nowhere because they ain't nowhere.
Right.
Some others, they might be a little bit ahead, but they're unwilling to help one another. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that's just a gene pool from back from slavery days. I don't know. But I know one thing. There's a new breed of people that's out here that want to hustle, that want to get together with their group, with their homies, with their squad, and make things happen. Just like they're doing with Simpsons and Loon. You heard about Simpsons and Loon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Black people are doing that all day long through
Absolutely.
Black people doing that.
Yep.
I'm trying to teach them, though, that guess what? You can't do that but for so long because it has something called tax ramifications.
Absolutely.
And see, our young people don't understand taxes. You can only really funnel max almost $10,000 a day through Cash App.
All right. That's it.
Cash App leaves the trail.
Man.
So there's a digital trail about the money you are moving through Cash App. You don't think they're not going to report any of that
Right.
to the government?
Wow.
And this is another reason why we get the Bitcoin business, because I'm also trying to get to those people that are doing susus and loons and say, hey, listen, you need another move of business where you can now take those funds, funnel it into this location, get away from the susu, start your business and show them how to start an LLC and everything. And they can begin to have their own business. That's the susu. Be able to write off lunch, dinner, portions of their home. But I say that there's a lot of crab mentality out here, bro. But you can't let that stop you.
Absolutely.
You need 5 no's before you get to it yet.
Wow. But brother, it's that we have to get more education, man. It's just we don't focus on what could help us, wealth situation. You know, a lot of people are limited in education, so they only do what they know. A lot of black people will say that a job and it's a guaranteed paycheck, so they don't eke out and try to start their own businesses, or like you said, get into these certain types of digital currency, industries that will make them some stream of income, or to. This is like, could sound like it's a safe place to do your money and your exchange with another person, instead of that dollar that we like to hold on to in our wallets. You know, that's easy spent so much. You know.
Well, a couple things to that. One, the dollar isn't worth almost the paper that it's written on. But you won't hear that.
Right.
You won't hear that in the mainstream.
Yeah.
We're in inflation right now.
Absolutely.
I just bought a cheesesteak, and the cheesesteak had half the meat it had in it 3 months ago.
Man.
It's still at the same price. But now the store has recognized that my price of meat went up. So I gotta still charge you $10 for the sandwich, but I gotta give you half the meat now.
Absolutely.
The value of the dollar has changed. Our system in America is changing. I found out over the last 14 days that in Switzerland, children that are in grade school starting at 4 and 5 years old are taught financial literacy. Financial
literacy, that's what it's all about, brother. That's it.
At 4 and 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Not at 15 and 18.
Absolutely.
4 and 5 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's taught in their school system. That's not even predicated upon your family structure.
Absolutely.
Imagine if our school systems here in America taught financial literacy at the age of 4 and 5.
Right. Yeah. So yeah,
that's the knowledge we're missing.
Yeah,
We're missing financial literacy knowledge.
Absolutely. Financial literacy is important, man. In the black community, we don't have that.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't have that in the black community. We don't. I mean, it's just not structured. Well, brother, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to hold on. I got another call, so I'm going to let him come in. And unless you want to hang out with us, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's hang out for a little while longer.
All right. Okay. Area code 647. You're on live with the Lawyer Henderson Show. All right. Well, call dropped. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Well, yeah, I was talking about financial literacy is what we was talking about. So How do you think we start getting started on financial literacy? How do you think that we start to get black people, especially as they're young, because they are already inundated with a lot of things when they're young. They're inundated with so much television and hip hop music or whatever, and everybody wants to everybody, just it's just they got too much going on. So how do we break that barrier to try to get them to understand financial literacy in the black community at a very young age?
Well, you got to meet them where they're at. If they're on the basketball court, that's where you need to show up. If they're in that local recreation center, that's where you need to show up. Also, we need to show up in our schools. We need to be at the after-school program. We need to start talking to those leaders that are in our community, council people, and so forth, and start pushing the sound that financial literacy is needed. And then we need a trusted source. And that's what black people want to lean on. If you ain't driving a Mercedes-Benz and living in $1 million home, they act like they don't want to talk to you.
Absolutely.
They don't even understand that some of your richest people don't even drive a Benz. They drive in Volkswagens.
Absolutely.
They wear 5-year-old clothes.
Right.
The person that you think is a millionaire outside of our culture by appearance is not the millionaire that they would truly know in our society. Because, in the African-American world, you got to be wearing Gucci this.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to wear all this Gucci down pants, and you got to have this bad Bentley, and you got to, I learned about some of those guys when they go out and show out there, man, they renting out these cars and they taking off the sticker and stuff, trying to show out that they got a brand new car. I'll be like, man, come on, man. But
that's what attracts the young African black person.
You're right, yeah.
Male or female. They're looking for the bling and the ring. And unfortunately, they get that because of social media. They get that because of the videos they watch and the music they listen to. So you have to go where they are and say, hey, listen, y'all got 5 minutes? I want to show you something about money. And whatever you pull out and show them has to be dead on, and it shows them some real proof and a track record.
Absolutely.
And that's how you got to get started. And it also needs to start in our home.
Okay, yeah.
Start in our home.
Well, brother, we got female-headed households in most of the African American community, man. And we talked about this a very great deal on this show. Is that, man, there's no fathers in the houses no more, in the homes no more. So how do we reach them? I mean, how do we reach these kids now? Because you got father and mom is going at it, and the kids is being placed in between. But we who are the experts is trying to get the kids, because we are the ones who are really going to be educating them, because the parents is all screwed up and they can't teach them anything. But to your point, getting them while they playing basketball or getting them while they're in certain places is to educate them on that financial literacy. I guess that's where it starts. Hold on for me. Area code 240. You're on air with Lawyer Henderson. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kiana Squires, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing well.
All right.
So is this the business spotlight?
Yeah. Say hello to Brian first. He's from Philadelphia.
Hello.
Hi, Brian. Hello. I am from also the Pittsburgh area, so we're not too far from each other.
All right.
All right. What kind of business do you have? Go ahead and tell us about it.
So I have a literacy company where we are educating the public about word recognition and language comprehension and how that impacts student success.
Okay.
And what that really means is we're offering free reading tips to parents, to students, and these reading tips should help your child master the area of reading.
Okay. All right. So when you say master, what age do you suggest that they should go ahead and come to you as far as trying to help them? Did it start at what grade level?
We offer all grade levels. So if your child is entering kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, it is best for parents of children of younger ages to get started with education. But right now, just looking at the statistics, especially in the area of Atlanta, we have almost 50% of children not even on grade level, and that's at every grade level.
Wow.
So, and that's coming from the Georgia Department of Education website. They have something called a College and Career Readiness Index, and it's right on their website, and you can access it at any time. And they have the statistics for all of the Georgia schools. They have statistics for Atlanta, anything that you want to look at in Georgia. And in the area of reading comprehension, language arts, from elementary all the way to high school, our babies are failing, according to that data. And I am also a certified teacher, so I've been in the classroom for 8 years, and
Right.
I've also seen it where children are just coming in year after year, not just one grade level behind, but we're talking, they may come in at a 5th grade level, but they're reading on a kindergarten level.
Wow.
And that may be the whole entire class. So, and right now with the pandemic, with schools going virtual, parents really have to take control of their kids' education right now.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to tell you, things are going to be everywhere.
Wow.
It's going to be everywhere. Teachers are going to be extremely busy. They're going to be extremely bogged down. And if your child is in need of, additional help, it may be really hard for teachers to offer that right now. So we want to offer these free tips to parents.
Okay.
We offer it right now through our social media site. We will have a website coming up soon. So they can reach us on Facebook. You
Okay.
can reach us at either Tiana Squires, or you can reach us at Read, Believe, Succeed. We are also on Instagram. That name would either be Sweet Peas, SWEETPEAV89, or Read, Believe, Succeed 2020.
All right. So it's Sweet Pea.
And when you
Go ahead. I'm sorry. For this, this is the Instagram where you're saying the Sweet Pea Z89. That's the Instagram page.
Yes, that
Okay.
page, or also Read, Believe, Succeed 2020.
Okay. All right. And so the website
And
said it.
there are dots
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There are dots in between Read, Believe, Succeed on Instagram, but there are no dots in it on the title on Facebook. They wouldn't let us do it without the dots.
Oh wow. All right. So let me ask you a question. Why you think that they're not reading on their grade level in the school? Since you're your educator yourself, what do you think is the problem here?
I'm going to venture out and say that we don't have enough parents that feel like education is their responsibility. They primarily, just in my experience, I've seen it where the school is the sole and primary lifeline, of that child. The parent is almost, I don't want to say not involved, because what happens is we have parents that have multiple jobs, they have multiple children, and they feel overwhelmed. So with that feeling, sometimes they'll just kind of just say, hey, I don't have the time to help my child, or, I'll let the teachers catch it. And, if you have 30 children in your class that are all reading below grade level, it could just be a lot. So, and I don't want to say some other things that could be going on, but just in my experience, noticed that we just don't have enough people that are involved in education besides the schools.
Wow.
Because if you think about it, have you heard Donald Trump talk about education anytime recently? Have you heard Governor Kemp talk about education? You really don't hear anybody talking about education.
Wow.
So that's a secret life that we really don't talk about in our society.
Huh. Well, I mean, I understand what you're coming from as far as education. I mean, but these kids, like, is so, like I was telling Brian, they are so inundated with, these shoes and hip hop, and they out here on, they got their own thing going on now. So they pretty much is being busy with that. So how do we get them back in to focus on their education? I had I was driving down the street the other day, and there was a fight that broke out here in Atlanta at a skating ring, and I tried to go out and help the security guard to break it up, and then a young dude get into my car and was about to take off. I'm like, man, they were wild. So what is it that is going on, do you think, with these youngsters that they just is throwing education away?
They don't know who they are.
Okay.
They have no idea that they have a legacy of greatness. I think sometimes we tend to forget that we are not just descendants of slaves. We are descendants of kings and queens. Despite what they will tell you about who started what empire and who came to what first, the black person was here first. So if we were to be teaching our children the history that they need to know, they would be more interested in school. And I've seen it where when I come into my classroom and I'm talking about Kaepernick, or we're talking about, the crazy things that Kanye West may say, or, things like that, they're into it. They're going to, pay attention. They're going to do what they can do for you. But if they have to go to school and learn about history that's not their history, they have to go to school and talk about glorious people who actually killed and raped their ancestors. That's going to turn them off. And that's really, what I see is going on is, school is not for the average African American. It's not for the average Hispanic. It's not for the average Native American. So you find that those groups of children are just falling by the wayside.
Wow.
Because nothing is catered for them.
Absolutely.
So we have to change that, and that is my goal. With this literacy company, we want to eventually get to a point where we are making content. We're making curriculum that is focusing and celebrating African American life, Hispanic life, everybody else. We can't always just focus on one group and one culture, because I think we kind of have the way we think of America, people always say, oh, it's a melting pot. When you say melting pot, what that means is there is no distinct cultures. We've all been melted down into one, and that's not really how it is. We have very distinct cultures in America, and we need to celebrate them, and we need to talk about them. So I feel like America is more like I heard someone say more like a salad, a tossed salad, where you distinctly know each part, and it's not all mashed together. And I think that's what we need to do for our youth, is make sure that they know that they have a place in our salad bowl.
Absolutely.
They're not melted into something that, that's not where they came from. They have a place in history, society, and we've got to let our young children know that.
Absolutely. What grade level you teach?
I teach fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Currently.
Okay.
But I taught third, fourth, and fifth grade.
All right, that's okay. That's where it is. Well, is anything else you want to say about your business? What was your name again? Did you say Alana?
My name is Tiana.
Oh, Tiana. Okay. What else you want to say about your business?
Yes, Tiana. Kion.
Okay.
I just want to let people know to come on to our social media page, especially right now with parents in need of homework help, in need of information to help their children with their schoolwork at home. Come come onto our social media page, message me. I will give you all the tips and tools you'll need to get ready for this virtual year.
Okay, but there's no math tutoring as far as helping them out either. Is that correct?
At this time, I don't offer math tutoring because at this point I feel like if a child is not able to read, they're not going to be able to read the word problem. They're not going to be able to understand.
Okay.
So we want to go ahead and make sure they got a hold on reading first before they, and if they need assistance with math, we have no problem with partnering you up with someone that does, math tutoring or math assistance. It'll just be a matter of you telling us what your needs are.
All right. Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in. I want you to go to my page, my Lawyer Henderson, or inbox me your information so I can share that on my Facebook page as well so that we can get these kids educated, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks for calling, Kiana.
Oh, and someone said they had a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. Brian, well, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I got a question. What is your thought about financial literacy for our youth? Can you speak on that for us?
Yeah, that's another part of what needs to be taught. So in addition to our history that needs to be taught, we got to teach our kids how to use money. I feel like right now they only know how to spend money, but they don't know how to earn money. They don't know how, to invest their money. We have no idea about stock markets and forex trading and things that could possibly keep people from going to college and spending unnecessary money in some cases.
Absolutely.
So I think financial literacy is a big part of education, and that's what we're lacking because there are no financial, literacy classes in school. Not at all.
Wow.
And can I just kind of chime in and say, how about there's not much financial literacy education being taught at home?
Right. Because,
And
as
that's
you
the
said,
reason
it
why the
has
kids are still having the same track record as the parents of not having wealth, not having any real wealth strategy.
Right.
They don't understand saving is more important than spending.
Oh, yeah. That's that generational thing.
Right.
That's what's been, unfortunately, passed down to us since slavery of, you had money at first.
Right.
And now we do have some money, and now all we want to do is just spend, not understanding that there are businesses, there are, LLCs and S Corps and all these things that you could be getting yourself into that would double your money. So all the spending you're doing, you can do more. Not that we're advertising that, but if that's what your goal was, you want to have the most money as you can. And we've got people spending their whole paychecks and knowing that they don't have any money in the bank company.
Wow.
So we've got to make sure, and that's why this, also getting the parents wound up is really what I think is going to move children.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to do anything if your mom's not doing it. You're not going to do it if your dad's not doing it.
Absolutely.
People lead by example.
Yeah. That is true.
So, and I would love to partner up with you to also, bring in some literacy tips to our parents and, let them know, hey, in addition to teaching them how to read, or, here's this business or financial guide, take a look at that. See if they can read this part and that part and comprehend. So really, reading and financial literacy, that stuff all ties together.
Oh, wow.
Well, I would definitely love to connect with you. Maybe we can start a journey together where you are as well as where I am in Philly so that we can work together as black business owners and start the ball rolling with educational assistance both for the English sector as well as financial literacy.
Right.
You can reach me. I'm on Facebook as Brian Williams, BrianWilliams in Philadelphia. You'll see me. I got a smooth, cool cap on. with my glasses. You can also find me at Making Money at Home. I have a Facebook page called Making Money at Home, teaching people financial literacy. So I'd love to connect with you so that we can do more together.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, I like the what you talked about as far as the parents' generation. They didn't really teach. They're not really teaching kids anything, and we just see this whole pattern going of financial illiteracy, and then having problem with reading, as you were saying, Kiana. I just see that we're talking about kids who are also as having kids or about to have kids. I mean, what do you think that how are we to bring them in? Your suggestion of how do we bring them in? I know that Brian is suggesting that we take them off the basketball court or talk to them while they're out there playing football. But what about the young girls? How do you think that they should be approached in this situation?
And I like that idea. I also think that, like you said, we have to meet people where they are.
Hmm.
What I find that they're doing with young girls is they're putting them in cheerleading classes and dance classes.
Right.
And that's where we may have to find them at,
Okay.
right there and saying, hey, do you know about this? Or have you heard about this? And that's been my biggest struggle is how do I make this marketable to people that don't want it?
Right.
And what I find is you kind of have to keep your ears to the current culture. What's hot now? They're doing the TikTok dances and these challenges, and so we may have to, do what they're doing, and we may have to do a financial literacy TikTok challenge, or something that it looks like what they're doing,
Right.
but it has the content of what we know they need to know.
Right. 5 minutes. Okay. If you want a booth, it's